Hey there guys, welcome back to TCGPlayer Gaming. I am Ballmonk4, and today we are back with Yu-Gi-Oh! Budget Battle. Now, things are going to be maybe different from the norm, but this episode is going to be the very first episode we actually have a deck we were building. Episode 0 was obviously rules and introducing the series. Now, something interesting happened in episode 0. We actually had a tie. In this instance, usually I would just be introducing what deck won, and we'd be moving to the channel intro and recapping the previous episode, but since we really only introduced rules, whatever. So, if you need to check the rules, there will obviously be, when the series intro plays, after we reveal what deck was chosen, there will be a rules recap if you need to look at that. And obviously we have a secret rule hidden here that I may reveal. If we get, for every 10 likes, I will reveal another part of the sentence. So that secret Patreon special episode, you guys can learn more about it. But that's only if every 10 likes an episode gets, I will reveal another part of the sentence. Or the rule. Anyways, moving on from that, guys. So episode 0, as I was saying, 2 decks actually tied. So I decided I'd spin a wheel. Kind of using the same format of the Wheel of Sets from the Collector's Journey, I'm going to spin a wheel. In this case, only has 2 options. And whatever it lands on is the winner. So honestly, guys, I'm super excited. This is the very first deck that we will be building here. And I hope to bring you guys not only good, affordable decks, a good deck list, and but hopefully good gameplay and some entertainment and you guys can enjoy. And by the way, guys, if you do ever want to duel me, or if you ever want to play, Discord links are down below. And my Discord channel I will start be posting on there when I am looking for duels for any of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. So if you ever want to duel me, or you just want to duel for fun, join my Discord, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. All the links are down below. I'll be posting stuff there. I would be posting more updates, like text-based community post updates, once I do reach 100 subscribers. Because that at 100 subscribers is when I believe the community post feature is unlocked, if I remember correctly. So if that is the case and it is 100 subscribers, once we reach that, I'll be posting a lot more stuff on the YouTube channel that are just community posts in general. But until then, if you need news, Twitter, Instagram, I'm going to be a lot more active on there. And Discord are the best places to go. I'm actually currently tweaking the new Discord format because I had it based on my old Twitch, but obviously I'm moving to YouTube to stream, and that's going to be coming soon too. Alright guys, but I'm excited. I feel like I'm rambling because I just want to know what is the deck we're building. So let's switch over. Alright guys, as you can see, we have the budget deck decider over here. Now anytime there is a tie in the comments, I'm just going to use this little decider wheel to, well, help me decide. Now, honestly, guys, looking at it, we have 2 options here. Naming after my channel, Twilight Azure Gaming, Smog UKA decided that Twilight Sworn, with a budget of $30, would be one of the options. The other option is Synchron Resonator Synchro, and it's by Elder God Uzak. And even though Elder God said 45 to 50 bucks, I just decided to choose the lower end 45 because that felt like a nice weird number. Like, it didn't feel like the normal 50, 40, 30, it kind of was like 45 was kind of interesting. So we have about a $15 difference, but I think that Twilight Sworns would definitely be, I played Light Sworns back in the day. I mean, honestly, I actually ran them to, I think, a regional. But yeah, no, I did play Lightsworn for a while, and so I know all the old cards, honestly. Never messed with any of the Twilight stuff, so building that deck will definitely be something that's completely new to me, and so hopefully I'm able to understand the new mechanics and everything. And obviously when I'm ordering these cards, I will pre-build the deck and test it out and stuff like that. So, and then the other one, Synchron Resonator. Now I remember a few of the Synchrons, but I only think one of them I ever really played with. And then, or for the Resonators, I mean, at Synchron, you would have junk and all that. But it's like, for the most part, Synchron Resonator, I don't think I've ever played a deck with both of them. I know there's a lot of good Resonators that have come out since I stopped playing, and a lot of good synchron support. So that's definitely an option. At 45 bucks, I feel like we can do some interesting things. Now, obviously, I'm going to give this a few spins, and once it's decided, I'm going to be spending a whole lot of time building a deck, researching budget, and hopefully coming up with something that will appease everybody. But okay, we're going to give it a few spins, guys. Here we go. And it is going, and it has landed on Twilight Sworns for 30 bucks Mog UKA. So this will be the first deck, guys, we will be building. I'm going to start researching it right now and get something going, because the sooner I build this, the sooner I can play. And Yu-Gi-Oh! An expensive game with loads of cards worth a ton of money, with a goal to build a budget deck selected by viewers within fiscal confines also decided by viewers. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Budget Battle. Alright guys, so here it is, the first deck list for the Budget Battle series. Now, I wanted to try to stick, honestly, to the Twilight core theme as much as possible without going too much into Chaos, region. But then, of course, the first card I want to show you is because of, well, I saw the artwork for this card, and I fell in love with it. One copy of Chaos Valkyria. Now, honestly, guys, purple-haired, short-haired waifu, totally a good card, and it's a 4-star, but also totally my type. So it's not my fault, guys. It is not my fault. I just couldn't resist. So moving on from one card. Oh, by the way, I will list the prices here. So this card costs $1.49 out of our $30 budget. Now, I feel like there's better changes I could have made, but I didn't want to wait for any cards after I made the initial deck list. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that could improve this. And I promise you guys, we will come around to a point where we will improve these decks. So if you have a theory on how to improve this, let me know. But obviously, remember, this is a $30 budget. So the next card is one copy, Electromagnetic Turtle. Something that I just remember being used in a lot of card decks that would dump into the graveyard. So moving on from there, we have two. I should say Electromagnetic Turtle. This is going to take me a hot second. Let me pull these back. Reverse. 8 cents. Okay, guys. 8 cents for one copy. Now, moving on to the Duelist, the Lightsworn Archer. We have two copies here. 49 cents for each. So it was 98 cents total. Honestly, I like this card. I know it can be kind of bricky, but I felt like, we're going full for Twilight Sworn, so let's try. Next card, 3 copies of Jane, Twilight Sworn General. This card is good, but it's also cheap. It's 5 cents. I literally got these 3 for 15 cents, which is great on our budget. It's also a dark. It's very useful. It's very helpful. And keeping those cheap kind of cards gives us room to add in some of the big guys. So 3 Judgment Dragons. Now the 3 Judgment Dragons, guys, 74 cents a piece, so $2.22. But this card, I played Lightsworn when it was only Lightsworn back in the original era. I could not pass up playing 3 Judgment. I couldn't. Memories. Speaking of memories, 3 copies of Lumina Lightsworn Summoner. Honestly, guys, I had to kind of get these. You can see different prices here. 89 cents, 79 cents for the middle one, 90 cents for the one over here, for $2.58 total. I couldn't find anyone who had a same solid price, so I had to buy a couple. But moving to, I think, one of my favorite artworks and newer cards of the Twilight Sworns, 3 Lumina Twilight Sworn Shaman. The Shaman, 49 cents a piece, got him for $1.47. And God, they are pretty as a secret rare. Glad that they were so cheap in that form. Moving on from there, I needed a card that was kind of cheap, and I didn't realize my budget yet. So the next one is a single copy of Lila Lightsworn Sorceress for 15 cents, guys. Honestly, I'm happy with having one. It's another name as well, and a pretty good pop effect and nostalgia. But Lila isn't the only one, because Why that was 15 cents. These two Lilas, the Twilight Sworn Enchantress. Honestly, 25 cents a piece, 50 cents total. Really solid cards. Moving on from there, we have one Minerva Lightsworn Maiden. Honestly, I couldn't figure out how to fit the other Minerva, which really did hurt. But you know what, guys? You know, I'm working on a budget. And Minerva was 49 cents here. Now, going to another card I saw, and I read up some deck profiles and was doing some research. A single copy of Perform Mage Trick Clown. 25 cents, thought it was a great card, and it was only 25 cents, so I mean, it's just one of those cards that I was like, man, okay, throwing stuff in the grave, gotta have the revival. So I'm pretty sure I'm missing other good graveyard cards that would have worked really well in this deck. But moving on to our next one, a single copy of Punishment Dragon. I've never played with this card, saw it for 99 cents and thought, great effect, and I'm using the Twilight Sworns, might as well use their boss monster. So, I mean, honestly, guys, moving on from the Punishment Dragon, another card I kind of really like. Honestly, wish it was around when the original Lightsworns were played. Raiden, Hand of the Lightsworn. 49 cents a piece, $1.47 for all three. Great card. It literally, when I'm playtesting this stuff, it makes or break depending on how its effect triggers. Moving on from there, I did want to play one Rocket Synchron. Again, great effect. It's only 20 cents and it's a tuner. And another tuner at one I felt like could allow some level modulation. So it has a pretty decent effect with what our X deck looks like. Moving on from there, one of our literally tied for our most expensive card total is 3 copies of Wolf Lightsworn Beast. I couldn't say no to Wolf, even though they were each $1.05. That's $3.15 for all 3. I couldn't pass up. Again, nostalgia. Now, same price, literally, 3 copies of Charged Light Brigade. $1.05, $3.15 for the whole group. Key card, I needed it, why not? And so I was looking at kind of board wipes that were cheap. Torrential Tribute was a little bit more expensive, so I decided to go 3 Dark Holes. Honestly, 25 cents a piece, 75 cents total. No way I could pass up these Dark Holes. I absolutely couldn't. Moving on from there, 2 Galaxy Cyclone. The Galaxy Cyclone, guys, honestly, 40 cents for each one, 80 cents total, in a beautiful shine. But just a good graveyard card, because a lot of the time in my playtesting, it actually helped. And then the final card of the main deck, 3 copies of Solar Recharge. 98 cents a piece, $2.94 for the total. So that is the main deck. I know I'm missing probably a lot of things, guys. I know there are a lot of things that probably would have made it much more improved. But, you know what, guys? I'm kind of happy with the way this deck looks. So, moving this to the side. So, the main deck total cost $23.81. So, wanting to kind of leave room, I was thinking, okay, I have about 6 and change for the extra deck. So, looking at the extra deck, for the Synchros, well, pretty much, I have, first off, a Black Rose. I just really couldn't say no to a Black Rose. 26 cents, great Synchro. It's a dragon, it can blow up the field. I think it's really useful if we can get that deep into it. The next card is Judgment, the Dragon of Heaven, 53 cents. Again, it's a Sidesworn card. It's really good. And of course, I'm running all the other Judgment style dragons, so might as well run that one. The next card was one I debated about, but when I read its effect as well as its level, I thought it was a pretty good one to throw in. Metaphys Horus. And I mean, it only was 11 cents. It's a 6. I can get into it. Great effect. And I wanted some different levels just in case I did need to hit into something. Just because there's so many different ways I could break into different boards. Moving on from there, we did have a Michael, the Archlight Sworn, $1.10. Again, Michael's just another one that great card, powerful, and all around, I knew I needed to fit in as many Lightsworns as I could. Speaking of, honestly, one of my favorite cards. Never heard of this card before looking it up. One copy of Shooting Riser Dragon, 90 cents. I love this card. It's a tuner. It's a dragon. 7. It's pretty easy accessible. It's good effect. What more could you ask? Now, this is a card back in the day when I was playing. If someone said this was 13 cents, you would freak out. But 13 cents. By the way, the shooter was 90 cents. But Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Bearer, 13 cents. When I played at one point, Trishula was expensive, man. But there is no way I could turn down a copy of Trish. It probably would never see play, but just in case, man, you cannot say no. Moving on from there, a card I'm very familiar with because I played Virtual World and just good all around. Virtual World Kyubey Shinshin. 23 cents because of the 10s. Couldn't say no to a 9 that's walking macrocosmos with literally 2,800 attack. And, well, it's 23 cents. Moving on from the synchros to seeds. 1, Phantom Knight Breaksword. I love Phantom Knights. I've only got small chances to play them, but Breaksword is just great. General as a rank 3. And 15 cents. Who could pass up on that? Going to the next seed. Number 41, Braguska, the Terrible Tire Taper. 24 cents. Good effect. Never actually got to play with it before, so I'm actually kind of happy about it. But the next card is one I've never got to play with, but I've seen a lot, and it just looks so fun. A singular copy of Time Thief Redoer. 59 cents, a little bit more expensive, but I thought the ability to evade, as well as to get extra material on it, was just so key I couldn't pass it up. Moving on from there, just a single copy Tornado Dragon, 12 cents. Nice common card, and I mean, it pops 2 backwards. What more can you say? Honestly, this was a card I kind of went back and forth on, but and I don't even know how to really pronounce it, but it was just adorable and I couldn't pass it up. 15 cents for Kasich Magician. 1, it was a Spellcaster Link, 1700 Link 2. I thought it had a pretty decent effect. It was a good Link 2, and I mean, a down and up arrow. Not the worst, but not the best. But honestly, it's just one of those things that when I was looking, at one point I actually was debating about this because it's a dark spellcaster, as a possible pendulum style card if it had better arrows. After that, again, that was 15 cents. Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion, 80 cents. Curious is just, I think, one of the more needed Lightsworn cards in this deck. I really wish I could have added the Minerva, but no matter what, the Minerva was too expensive for a $30 budget. That was 80 cents. So, and then we have a Nightmare Phoenix, 33 cents, sorry, and 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 35 cents. So in total, $5.99, about $6 for the extra deck. So guys, total for the deck, $29.80. I know I could have added a bit more cents. I was thinking at one point trying to figure out how to get a Chaos Emperor at the end, or Chaos Emperor, Blackluster Envoy at the beginning. One of the envoys in, as well as debating about other Chaos monsters, but with only a couple cents and trying to put something out as well as time, I didn't want to wait. So this is the deck, guys. Let me know what you think. And now we're going to go to the duel. All right, guys. So here is our first duel against the Mirror Tundra. Honestly, the Mirror Tundra needed a duel, and this is actually before I even really got to play with the deck. So funny enough, on his Discord, the Mirror Tundra, if you haven't, links in the description for his channel. Check him out. Go to his Discord, duel with us. But so this is really my first time playing the deck. I haven't even play tested at this point, so I was just thinking, okay, do Lightsworn stuff, and I realized there was so many better combos and lanes I think I could have gone for, but I just wanted to get out, try to play this deck. But of course he's running his sealed only PK build, and so all I'm thinking about at this point is, okay, gotta do as much damage as possible, see if I can't win this. And I actually misplayed in a really bad sense. And I mean, it was pretty obvious. I had Lumina on the board, but honestly, I could have gone off, I could have done combos, but I was really kind of dumb about things. And it cost me. It cost me big time. And I kept wanting to use Redoer. And I think Redoer was a mistake compared to other 4s I could have gone into there. But yeah, thankfully I did burn through his material, and I'm only at 5100, so I'm technically alive. But yeah, honestly guys, when I first did this duel, I realized I should have play tested more, that I probably could have learned the combo lines I did have. But in actuality, I really didn't. I really wasn't smart about how I was playing this. And that's not to take away from Demir, because obviously PK's best deck. I love Phantom Knights. I love playing against them. I love losing to them. And honestly, it's just because I always enjoy Phantom Knight. Phantom Knights to me are just so fun to watch. But honestly, it's one of those things where Dark Holes definitely came useful, but Phantom Knights just has too much recursion, and I wasn't smart about how I played things. And well, I'm not going to hold it against myself, because obviously I know I was just, just getting back into the flow of things, just getting back into trying to play Lightsworn. Because the last time I actually played Lightsworn was back when the deck first came out. But I just can't handle Phantom Knight's recursion. Of course, I had to draw a card that I could not play, so I just surrendered. Going to match 2, I mean, honestly, guys, for a budget deck, I think if I had doing 2 out of 3s, if I had a side deck, I could have sided better. I kept trying to go to Redoer, guys. I really feel like I could have done smarter plays. But yeah, I kept wanting to do Redoer because I never played with Redoer before. I was like, oh, this card looks cool, and I could steal, material and all this stuff, and just never worked. Not great against Phantom Knights. But yeah, no, guys, it was one of those things where, how do I say this in all honesty? 1, I was unprepared going into this. 2, I had no side deck. And I was thinking man, wouldn't it be cool if I could maybe side into something that could be a little bit anti-Phantom Knights to give me a better chance. But because of the budget, I'm really starting to rethink that. And it was really during this first game 2 that I realized I stood no chance. Remember, guys, Demir Tundra links are in description below. Now, moving to Friendly Duelist. This was a matchup, again, I was thinking, okay, just pulling shenanigans. I did get Gamma, which kind of sucked. I was like, okay, I'll set 1 pass. I have a Wolf. I have 2100 beater. But Friendly Duelist actually told me that the deck they're playing here, it was like their first time really playing it. So I was like, oh, cool. But yeah, I also realized that it was actually in this duel, when they're playing Dino, by the way, that I really realized I didn't put enough of the chaos to banish and get stuff banished, and it really did kind of hit me in a weird way. I also should not have summoned the Synchron. But yeah, guys, stupid mistakes, and obviously Friendly Duelist was just learning Dino, so I knew they were a little new to it, so they could definitely misplay, but that's okay against this deck, because this deck is going to be very forgiving. Yeah, I realized there wasn't enough chaos stuff to try to get stuff banished. I tried to play in the budget, but I also tried to stick so much to Lightsworn. I think I could have tried to take out and balance the money a little bit, to have added a little bit more chaos to make sure there's a little bit more banishing and stuff like that. I really realized I wasn't truly smart about how I was playing. I mean, I really wasn't smart about any of it. So it was one of those things where I'm just from the first 2 duels, and honestly, we're still only in the first 2 matches. We're just really in the first part of the second match. I really realized how much my deck was inefficiently built. Moving on to game 2, or second part of this match. again, guys, it's one of those things where not putting anything against Amir, not putting anything against FriendlyDuelist. I really was not prepared myself. I did not. I know playing under a budget, there's always restrictions, but I really could have prepared myself better. And it really is interesting on this budget thing, because sometimes when I look at the comments, I want to honor them so much. Like I was thinking, man, okay, it said Twilight Zorn. Let's do Twilight Zorn. Let's try to focus so much on Twilight Zorn. And I really realized I tried to go too hard in making pure Twilight Zorn. And funny enough, when I did start to test hands, I saw some cool combo lines. I actually don't think I ever saw any of those combo lines. And that's just the way Yu-Gi-Oh goes. You know, it's definitely one of those things. But yeah, FriendlyDuelist, I know, said they made a big number of misplays. You probably, if you're a Dino player, saw it. I don't play Dino. I really don't. And so it's one of those things that for me, I'm just thinking, okay, is this what Dino does? Like, I'm really not 100% certain, you know, this is what Dino plays like, or this is what Dino's truly like. But yeah, guys, and when it comes down to it, the punishment is, the punishment's almost over for me. It's one of those things where, as I really kind of grind out this, you know, grind out this duel, it's really one of those things that I really do realize that there might be a need to balance into some sort of extra deck or side deck, as well as the main deck, that the budget maybe should be divided a specific way. Like this, I learned a lot from these episodes. These duels were, I learned so much from them about budget building, because I also didn't, you know, I played against, I mean, PKs and then Dinos, even though this is a new Dino player, neither of those decks are Rogue or Chill, you know. But moving on to the third one, CrossFlex, who is partaking in the Sparkman YugiTube Dueling Tourney. Great to see him here. Plays a deck I've actually never even heard of. When I first saw these things, I'm like, what the hell are these things? Like, no joke. I was super hardcore looking at them. By the way, CrossFlex, links in the description below. Same with Tamir Tundra. FriendlyDuelist does not have any links, but again, shout out to all three duelists. But honestly, this was another match that kind of awakened me into my exciting process. But yeah, Judgment's doing Judgment things. Discard Lumina into Lumina. Hey, guess what? Lumina into Lumina. Good time. Lumina into Raiden. Go in, break sword. Discard, attack. And I honestly thought, oh my god, this thing actually worked out. I picked up one. You will see here in a minute something that made me realize about side decking. The other two duels, CrossFlex was definitely my last duel. The other duel made me think about side decking. And it wasn't until this match that I was certain I needed to rethink about how this budget series will operate. I'm still going to do episode 2 and I'm going to work on some rules. But thinking about having some sort of capital for a side deck is necessary, because, or maybe restricting who I play against, or if there's certain like non-meta decks or something. But this isn't meta. But it does have one major thing that I may need to consider into this main deck. Do I get certain? Here it is. This is a bonus monster I can't target. You can kaiju it, but I don't have a side deck. There's no way I could kaiju side in. So do I main kaijus? Is that something I'm going to have to consider? I can't touch this thing. I can't do a single thing to this. And I want to thank CrossFlex, because this match made me realize a fundamental flaw. I was so certain on building a deck that I'm thinking, do I still do matches best 2 out of 3? Or do I do like a master duel type of just best 1 of? And just be like, hey, no 2 out of 3, it's just a best 1 of, because I can't side into anything. And my opponent can't. Do I limit side decking? Well, even then, you know, it's like, it's one of those things where I really does, these duels brought up law. I'm glad I actually won one little part of this match. I won one little duel of the match. And, but yeah, this untouchable monster here, I had no chance. By the way, Chaos Valkyria, Absolute adorable card. I love it. But yeah, guys, I mean, I'm going to just spoil it. I do end up losing this and the next match because of that beast of a card. I mean, he is just untouchable with that much material. If I had a side deck, if I could kaiju, things may have been different. But honestly, moving on to the third part of this match, round 3, it was something that I was thinking, okay, I just have to hope that he doesn't able to get into that boss monster. And it really turned into one of those situations where it's like, okay, he just got that out, no boss monster, I have a chance. I don't think my hand was that good. My Trick Clown did get it. By the way, this is right before Snow came off the ban list. I saw it and I was like, oh, the Snow card looks amazing. I was like, oh, it's banned. I was like, oh, I kind of wish I could play Snow. And then the moment I get done filming this stupid thing, Snow comes off the ban list. Oh, it stung so bad, guys. You have no idea how much it stung to see it come off the ban list after I got this episode and after Twilight Sworn was picked. But yeah, guys, he spams the field, and guess who comes out? Well, you would have guessed. Major boss monster. And there's the unbeatable guy. So at this point, unless I have a monster that is impenetrable too, which I don't, there's nothing to do. I Dark Hole. I already know I'm kind of done at this point. He, pops, reshuffles, and his recursion is great. This deck actually looks like it could be fun, but it definitely seems super heavy on getting that boss monster out and making sure, hoping your opponent doesn't have a kaiju. Because I don't have a side deck, I don't have a kaiju. So yeah, that wraps up the duels. Alright guys, you saw the duels for our first episode of Budget Battle. Now honestly guys, things did not go as turned out. First I want to thank Demir Tundra, FriendlyDuelist, and CrossFlex Flux. There we go. For the duels, CrossFlex, this is really was the first time we dueled. And yeah, thankfully that was the only match that actually wasn't a 0-2 where I got completely wiped. But honestly guys, learning and playing with Lightsworn was nice. I know there was Twilight Sworn, but honestly, I played Lightsworn back in the day in the original form. It was nice to play with them again, but I think nostalgia bit me a bit too hard. I think I tried a little too much on going Twilight Sworn. I didn't maximize the budget. I mean, we had 20 cents we could have played with. The extra deck, I was thinking about really good cards instead of, I had nothing going first. My thing was trying to wipe boards, but anytime I came across a card that needed a kaiju or something, we couldn't really get rid of that because we didn't have any kaijus. I'm thinking also about side decks. Do we change the rules and maybe force a budget so we have some sort of side deck as well as a core deck budget and then a side deck budget? Because playing matches, it became something that if they were one-off duels, it would be different, I think. But in a match format, I don't know. I feel like we really couldn't side into anything, and if they got an omnipresent boss monster on the field that we couldn't blow up with Dark Hole Judgment or something like that, we couldn't target, that was unaffected, there wasn't much we could do about it. And so this really gave me a strong learning lesson on how to proceed further. I'm still going to debate the side deck option. I'm going to debate whether we, we really should do a side deck. But honestly, guys, this was a great learning experience. I think I definitely did get bit by the nostalgia bug a bit too much. I was so focused on trying to go as much pure Twilight Sworn that I could have thrown a few more Chaos cards in. I love Chaos Valkyrie. Amazing, awesome, cute card. And I really realized if I would have put a little bit more of the Chaos into it that I could have afforded, we could have had an extra boss monster. We could have had something else to help banish cards, because I was sitting there thinking, oh man, we really didn't have that ease of banishing, especially with how quick the games were going. And I really should have thought about trying to throw something in that could have helped us banish cards as well as get them in the graveyard. So, I mean, I really do think, guys, that there was a lot of issues with the deck that I really didn't consider. Not to mention, another side effect I think from this is realizing I asked people to, decide Demir Tundra. I asked people to play a fun deck or deck they were learning how to play. Demir Tundra, I didn't ask him that. That duel happened before I kind of was figuring out what I wanted to do. But Friendly Duelist, I asked him to play a deck he was just learning. Dinos, you can see him misplay a lot, but he's just learning. He literally just built the deck and was just starting to learn. He has only played, like, I think, a couple test hands. So honestly, don't be too rough on that. I know I probably said that in commentary. You know, I know with CrossFlex, he played a deck I've never heard of and I've never seen. And so honestly, I had no idea what I was going up against, no way how to negate it or even side, even if I had the correct side cards. Not to mention, I know Twilight Sworn or Light Sworn in general can be really bricky if you don't get the right things. And I really think I could have balanced the deck a bit more. I think I could have tweaked things tried to throw a little bit more of a budget chaos into it. And I could have tried to do things that could have made it flow a little bit better, but I didn't. And it's a learning aspect of that. You know, fun duels and having people play decks that are fun and everything. I missed a good chunk of Yu-Gi-Oh! I've said this before, I say it over and over again. From when Exceeds came out up until about 2020, I was out of the game. So any time of decks from any of those previous eras that I really don't play against or really don't study or looked into, I had no idea what they do. So honestly, if I faced a deck or one of those decks that were considered fun now, but could have been competitive or like still rogue a few years ago, and it's just a fun deck now, it's something that I need to expand my knowledge of the game in general. But I also realize from this that either I add a no siding rule, but if their deck goes against mine very well, that could be a problem. Maybe I need to put in a couple side deck cards into the main just in case I need them. From now on, like a cheap kaiju or something. I'm really not too sure how to go about this because I didn't foresee these issues, and there's something that really is weighing kind of heavily on me, guys. But hopefully you guys like the first episode of Budget Battle. The duels weren't all there, but I think I also didn't practice with the deck enough. I got it, I built it, I kind of studied it, and I kind of went to old school Light Sworn style. I was just thinking, get Judgment, get as many cards in the grave, blow up field, try to attack for game. And it worked for one duel. The other 6, I lost because it didn't work. And I let nostalgia hold on to me, and I really didn't think outside the box about trying to go first and building a board that could have any interaction, pops, etc. And anytime I go second, if they got a boss monster out I couldn't destroy, we really entered a bit of a problem there. But guys, that is a lesson I have learned, and I'm excited for episode 2. Now remember, guys, if you do not know the rules, with this series, we get money for every duel won. Well, when I mean duel, I mean match. Right? I'm going to make sure, through my series, I'm going to make sure I call matches, and each individual duel a duel. So honestly, guys, I'm going to change the wording to say 1 match 1, 2 match 1, 3 match 1, so that won't be confusing. So honestly, we won no matches, we get no bonus money. But remember, guys, the top like comment each episode does get to decide which deck we build in the next episode and the budget. So guys, make sure you put in your comments down below. Tell me what deck you would like to see me build and what's the budget. And if you want to have a side deck option, include a budget for that too, separate from the main deck. Or the core deck, I should say, which includes the side and the main. But guys, hopefully you did enjoy this episode. And I'm sorry if I let you guys down with that. I kind of let myself down. But until next time, guys, tag out.